Angels kind of spinning their wheels, and it feels like that, but it also feels like there's some good takeaways. I mean, Suarez in his debut was pretty damn good. Not quite a quality start. I mean, he was just about a third of an inning short of that, but looked good.
I was shocked that Osmus actually had him go out for that 6th inning. I thought that was actually, a win for Angel fans just to see somebody, go over 4 or 5 innings. But Puello looked pretty good. But Suarez, though, I mean, that's all you're hearing about this kid, in the Fall Classic and everything, and how, this is kind of one of the pieces for the Angels in the, down the road who could help us. And how he looked against Seattle, I was like, things are starting to look up for the Angels finally. And actually, the Angels, for the second round day, drafted all pitchers. So about time they did that.
Because they went after 2 shortstops.
2 shortstops in the first round.
One kid's committed to Cal, right? And I think when I looked up his numbers, I said, this kid needs to go to Cal. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's only batting, I think he hit 312 in 91 games with no home runs. What I'm seeing there, Vince, is guys that have shortstop mentalities that can play second base or third base down the road. The kid that they drafted number 1 overall, he's got some power numbers.
Yeah, he does.
Kid from North Carolina State.
Yeah.
And first time I looked at this, I'm like, they're going to try to let him play third base. If they can get him to go and he can produce bombs like that. I mean, it's just like Nolan Arenado, right? He was a shortstop in high school, and they turned him into a third baseman. And with this kind of power that this kid has, played strong D1 baseball and had some good power numbers, I think it's possibly could be a third baseman for the future. Yeah. But again, look what Taylor Ward did. He's been a bombshell. But that's what kind of see. I see them trying to keep working that middle infielder and possibly able to push one of them to third base, and then
because last year
because
it was
obviously
the
they're going to have to go after a first baseman here pretty soon too. So so that's that's kind of what I saw in the first round. I mean, I'd let that kid go to Cal for 3 years and get stronger, and that's a good program up there.
It is. The one thing that's kind of a head scratcher too, and I don't know, maybe it might be a little bit more personal than we know, but that Matt Theus kid that Angel fans have been hearing for 4 or 5 years now still hasn't been up yet. So it's like, is there? Does he not fit the analytical
and that's one thing I wanted to talk about and kind of throw it on the table and Vince, kind of get your input too. I think I know where Jake and I kind of stand on this whole deal, but you're looking at a team that's 11 games now back or 10 games back of Houston, right? Really don't see a situation of them even battling to even be a contender, 1, in the league. 2, I don't think they were going to be good enough to possibly get a wild card spot due to the fact that Boston, New York, or somebody from the East is probably going to get that.
Yeah.
You've just seen a little bit of some youth come up and kind of hold their own. I mean, the kid second baseman is doing a good job. They brought up Suarez, and he held his own. I know he just went back to AAA today or yesterday, and they brought up Taylor Ward for that game up in Chicago, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. But
first overall,
Adele now has gone from single A to double A. Hopefully he's up with the Bees by, after the All-Star break. When do you pull the parachute, right? When do you say, all right, Cozart, you're done. You're batting $125. You got shoulder problems. Here's your $35 million. You go away. Poor Fletcher, right? Fletcher is now the kid at second base. I forget how to say his name.
Gino.
Whatever. He finally hit a bomb the other day. Is he your future second baseman? And you play little Fletcher at second base, and he's your Kiki Hernandez. You know what I mean? That goes all over the field, right? Or play shortstop when Simmons is is down. When do you kind of say, okay, hey, Major League Baseball, we got guys here for sale? Like, the Justin Uptons, when he gets back, if he starts producing, right? Cole Calhoun's not going to be, you're not going to be able to get rid of, but maybe there's somebody, maybe a couple pitchers or something like that you can kind of get rid of to try to boost that AAA or boost your minor leagues, and then kind of just bring them up and get them all experienced. I don't know. When do you pull that parachute?
I think, obviously the close people teams want to get closer to the trade deadline, right? They want to make sure that they get a little closer to that so that they're not selling low, right? So that's a problem. Andrew McCutchen out for the season with an ACL. So there's a possibility you can offload somebody. I think the Angels they have some gaps, and we know that. Is that going to be filled by the farm system? I mean, are you satisfied when you look down and you look at those names and think that that's going to go? Because if you're not, then the time is pretty quick.
Yeah.
You can't wait.
No, do you make that usually?
You can't. I don't think you can wait till the trade deadline to try and make something happen.
But the thing is also, if you look at the standings, they're 3.5 out of the second place wild card. The Angels are. Yeah. So now you're kind of going, well, with
I mean, because you could get streaky, right? Yeah. And things could go right? You bring Suarez back up, and you got Canning's doing a great job. So all of a sudden, maybe you've kind of put a staff together, right? And do you get rid of the Cahills? Do you get rid of the Harveys or whatever, right? You can kind of. But hey, you got 4 kids that are actually holding their own, and maybe keep Cahill and release Harvey or whatever you do at $11 million. I don't know if anybody's going to take that on. But what I'm trying to say is, you kind of maybe start grabbing the shells, on the table and start maybe piece something together. And then all of a sudden, Upton comes back and it helps the lineup, and you're a half a game out. But what I'm trying to say is, do you pull the parachute and start dumping when you're 6 games out of that? Or what's that number?
I would wait till after the All-Star break.
Obviously, no doubt about it. I mean, you got it, because there's a lot of teams. Look at the St. Louis Blues, right? The St. Louis Blues came out of, starting in January. They were the worst team in the NHL, and they got a chance of winning this damn thing, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You gotta kind of monitor it, but there's got to be a point in August, or I don't know, is it July? July. That you just pull the parachute and say, all right, here we go. We're future, right? Here comes the future. So
I don't know what the Angels' plan is developmentally. I think sometimes you have to be patient, and you just sort of bring your kids on, and you've got some burdensome contracts that you're trying to get past, trying to get over that hump. But you can't panic, right? You can't give
right.
You can't
and
give
at
away.
3.5 games, you can't panic. I totally understand that. But I look back at when the Cubs won the World Series. Their whole entire infield was making league minimum of rookie salaries of like $400,000 a year, right? There's a point of me saying it's almost like tennis, it's almost like golf. These kids nowadays can handle these big, the big time now. So obviously you're seeing kids not spending too much time in the minor leagues and getting up early and. I'm just wondering,
you can't rush them either, though. I mean, and we know that, right? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just put a bunch of 20-year-olds in your lineup. But 21, like Suarez, that's probably early. It's probably earlier than you thought you were going to see him, right?
Yeah, that's
because he only pitched 1 inning in spring training.
Right.
I mean, of course it was, but the kid held his changeup as dynamite. I mean, it's
and that's promising.
And what do you know? It's another lefty. I mean, we're full of lefties, right? So
Yeah, you don't want to get fleeced. Trying to rush out there. You're hanging on. You're hanging around. You still got Mike Trout out there. Is he 100%?
I don't think he is.
I don't think so either.
And he's still doing good. He's still doing good.
To me, it's like when you get Trout 100%, you get Upton back. There's some things happening. Yeah. Maybe one of these kids starts to get more at bats. You can give less, at bats to Pujols. I don't know. He's still.
Oh yeah,
I'm not. Driving in runs.
He's still hitting like 3-0s.
Yeah, but it is a little concerning how many off days he's been taking off though too, for Trout. So, I mean, I get it. They're in that crazy 20-game stretch, and I understand that. But I mean, just from defensively, looks a little bit slower. But I mean, who knows? Well, it doesn't really matter. I can't stand watching that Goodwin kid play left field anyway. So I'm kind of waiting for Upton to come back.
He's atrocious.
When is he due back?
In this homestand. No, he'll start playing games in the minor leagues this homestand.
He got no spring training.
Right.
So should be next.
The Angels are definitely not like the Dodgers, who are putting up slow pitch softball numbers.
Please. It's crazy.
It really is.
They've won 6 straight. They're 42-19.
And they're just you watch their games when you can, and it's just these kids are just got oodles of confidence. I mean, it's just pouring out of their pores. It's just.